You're now tuned into the most unpredictable podcast on the World Wide Web.
It's about to shut it.
It's Stand Loud, hosted by Karen Hall.
Down. Hey. You are locked in.
You know what it is. Pour up a glass of wine, ladies. Let the Henny flow, fellas. And get ready to turn the fuckery up to lit status. It's Karen Hill live on Say It Loud Radio on your favorite internet platform, streaming live.
It is another episode of Say It Loud, and today in the hot seat we have, I would say, like the original, I don't know, because I heard about you before I heard about some other people, like the original relationship guru, Terry Deron. You there, Terry? There you are.
Yeah. I was having some problems. What's going on? I appreciate you having me on.
Welcome to Say It Loud podcast. I just told you this. I've been following you on Instagram ever since I've been on Instagram. So for years now. And I just thought like you would be a good fit to come on the show and kind of like talk relationship from the male's perspective and doing what you do. Cause I really think that, I don't know. How did you get to be like Terry Deron, IG relationship coach guru guy?
It's actually kind of unexpected. I never was really into social media like that. But I'm a former hoe, so I know what men have to do in order to get women to sleep with them or be interested in them. And I've been married for a long time, so I can speak to what it takes to make, establish and maintain a healthy relationship. I can talk about the things that lead a man to cheat, make bad decisions, etc. And I can talk about the things women do knowingly or unknowingly that actually create conflicts with men or cause men to become distant or fall out of love. So
I feel like we need to talk about all of that.
Well, it's your interview. You can control the boat. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I feel like
we need to touch on a little bit of all of those things because I think those are things that everybody wants to know. Like, why? Let's start. I know from a dating perspective. Let's start with the dating before we get to the married part. Let's start with the dating perspective. Is like, where do the ladies got y'all fucked up at? Where do ladies have men fucked up in the dating process? Like, because I know women that like come to the table.
There are a lot of their expectations. A lot of women have they have the men that they want to be with fucked up because what they're presenting doesn't really offer much value to him, and his life is perfectly fine without her. So threatening to not date a man or not fuck him or whatever the case may be doesn't really hurt him because he already got to manage his time to pass out dick appointments, as it is. So he's not stressed over a specific woman or, curbing him or not being interested in him. The things that women believe about men and the myths that they believe in, or a lot of them are false or inaccurate. And I think that contributes to the ineffective dating strategies that a lot of women employ that don't usually yield them a lot of success.
Yeah, that's really deep. Can we just touch on the fact that some women, because I don't think a lot of women know this. And I know if I say it, Terry, they be like, Karen, you just a hating ass bitch. I'm not. But there's a lot of women who I think are fishing in the wrong water. Like the dude you trying to pull, yikes, he's not looking at a woman like you. You're not bringing anything to the table, and if you are, it's just ass, and he's gonna like take that and move on. But as far as like longevity, he's not gonna give you that longevity. And I think a lot of women got that fucked up about themselves. Like if you ask them what they, that's like the girl that's like, I'm a 10, but really the rest of the world sees like a solid 6. You know what I'm saying? And in her mind,
It's a lot of things that I believe contribute to that. There's a lot of pandering going on where men and women tell women all this stuff that they want to hear. They tell them how perfect they are and how lucky a dude would be to be with them. And that does not represent what it looks like for a man that's successful with women. He's never lucky to be with an attractive woman that wants to be in a relationship with him. That's all he's ever experienced. You know what I mean? Like, so this perception that a man is lucky to get a woman that can cook and clean. Like, it's a teenage girl that can cook and clean. Like, that's not impressing the men that women actually want to be with, that are six figures, that are entrepreneurs, that have the good conversations, that are handsome, that they got a big dick and all those type of things. He just don't have those type of problems. So the women that you know that have this I'm gonna be able to get it my way or the highway type of attitude, well, that's cool. Most dudes are perfectly cool with choosing the highway because they got it popping with so many other women, and the choices for men that got their shit together is so abundant, they don't really have to yield to the type of rhetoric that women are talking about.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think that women need to know that, because a lot of women don't know that. And then those threats, it's like, why is it not working, or why did it backfire? That's exactly why it backfired. But I think threatening somebody anyway is ridiculous in my personal opinion. I think women threatening anyone to be in a relationship with you, that's kind of like, you know, like, this is when you're in a relationship with someone, you're choosing to be in that relationship. This is not a hostage negotiation.
It's optional. well, there are situations where a person can feel like they hostage. That's usually when it's kids or finances. Like, if a dude know, like, all right, if I just leave, I'm gonna have to go move into some little ass apartment. I'm gonna have to give my ex $2-3 grand a month to live with her new nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you thinking about all that, and that's the reality of your situation, a lot of dudes would be like, well, nah, I'm just gonna get some side pussy. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna do this and that and that. So there are reasons why a person won't just leave a relationship. Yeah. I mean, cheaper to keep her, and just more practical for men and women to cheat instead of just leaving a relationship in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think when we get older, and we can touch on the cheating too. I think when you get older, I've been married and divorced, so I understand that, like, you get to some people like just leave, and you're like, wait a minute. There's a lot more invested in this outside of just this relationship. There's kids, there's house, there's cars, there's investments, there's, you know what I mean? And so you can't just always, at a certain age, you know, at 19, yes, just leave. At 40, you gotta like think this through a little bit and make a little bit more rational decision. You're like, you know what I mean? You gotta call your girlfriend and be like, look, just if he calls, I'm at your house. And that's that, because there's in some cases, there's no way, it's not an easy way out. It's not an easy fix. But why do you think some people cheat? Like,
you also have to compare it to what you're going to experience on the dating market. I think a lot of women don't take that into consideration. Like, they don't take into consideration that dating for women just in general is an uphill battle, you know, like, and so they approach it like, oh, I'll always be able to just find the type of man I want. And it's really not like that. Like, a lot of women don't really get very many opportunities with real quality dudes that check all the check boxes. You know, he got the swag, he got the personality. You really like him. Like, they don't make that many of them. Like, those dudes are usually taken. And so women just seem to have this attitude where, I'll be all good, I'm gonna focus on my career, and I'll meet him when I meet him. You might be really literally missing out on your opportunity to meet him or build with a dude that's gonna be making $200K by the time he's 40. You know, a lot of women ain't willing to get with that dude when he's 27 and struggling.
Right. Yeah, I did an episode to call Sis, What Do You Bring to the Table? And that's what I was talking about, because there was this woman that was like, he got to drive a 2020 Benz, and he got to make six figures, and he got to, have his own condo or a house. And then I turned around and I looked at the woman that was saying this, and I was like, okay, sis, well, what of these things do you have? And I feel like I could say that because I have like a master's degree. I have the Benz. I have my own place. Like but I do know that there's a lot of women that put what they're looking for in men way higher than what they actually attained in their own lives.
That's unrealistic. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, for the dude that does have multiple degrees, that has a business, that drive the foreign, that wear the diamonds, that buy the sections, he's not stressing over missing out on you, sis. You know what I mean? Right. Like, so women that will go on shows and a man better do this, the man better do this. Dudes are just laughing at it like, you're not even the type of chicks we want anyway. You know what I mean? Like, right. So it's a vicious cycle.
I think it's a real reality check, though. I think some people need that reality check. I think they really need to think about what it is when they're thinking about dating, like what they're looking for and how they go about looking for it. Because like I told you earlier, the energy you put out is going to be the energy you get back. And so if you're carrying yourself in a certain way, or you hanging in a certain space, and that's what's around you, then that's what you're going to pull in. You know what I mean? And then when you kind of like up your own game and you're in a different environment, you know, then you'll be with other people in that environment. That's my opinion. But when I tell women this, they don't listen to me. Which I wanted to touch on too, Terry, because I think that there is a whole business where men give women advice. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't hate on it. I just don't understand when I give the same advice to women, why they don't listen to me.
Well, most women really just want somebody to either give them affirmation on what they already think or feel already. They're not really looking for somebody to tell them something that's going to be thought-provoking or make them change the way they operate. Because the reality is, you know, most of the heartbreak women experience is a result of their dating decisions, which in a lot of cases are emotionally driven, you know, or based off short-term, you know, goals or stimuli. So women often make dumb decisions in the name of love and because of their feelings and do all this stuff that they do based off their feelings. Those are the things that have been steering them wrong. So on my platform, like I said, I'm a former hoe. So one thing about sleeping with a lot of women, you learn what you don't like about women or what get on your nerves about women. Like, you know why you stop fucking chicks that you really like fucking. You know what I mean? Like, and so there's always reasons for it.
Right.
But a lot of guys can't really articulate it. You know, they can't break it down, or they don't have, you know, I kind of feel like I'm the perfect kind of candidate. Like I said, because I've been married almost 17 years. I was a hoe, you know what I'm saying, in the military, and then at one of the most popular HBCUs, and I'm in a fraternity. So my single life was just lit. You know what I'm saying? Like orgies and threesomes and like, so I didn't realize it till now, like how much wisdom you get from setting those type of events up and convincing women to do stuff like that. So now that I'm able to turn it into like monetize it and turn it into like a profession, like I'm shocked too. Like my friends be like, man, you can't believe you be really on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of shocked. And I'm just telling them, like, because it's not, I'm not saying nothing that's new. Like I'm not inventing the wheel. I'm not coming up with cute cliches. I'm just telling them, like, I don't try to speak for all dudes. I speak for the dudes that get a lot of pussy that people view as husband and father material. I can tell you all about how he operates and why he operates the way he operates. And so it's real easy to do, you know, when you hang around those type of guys and you live that type of lifestyle, you know, 20, 30 years.
Yeah. I feel like I appreciate the honesty in it, you know, but I think
a lot of women don't.
I appreciate the honesty in it because I don't understand. Well, why do you think women don't?
Because there are people that tell them everything that I'm saying. I'm just saying because I hate women and because I'm bitter because I'm angry. Like it's women that really think that.
I don't
they
get that
think
from
that
you
all
at all.
I do is just try to. Some women.
I don't get that from you at all.
It only happens on social.
What I get from you is like, I'm going to tell it to you and I'm going to give it to you raw, and you do with this information what you need to do with this information, make your decisions. That's what I get from it. And I think at 19, you might take it one way and you don't really understand how to interpret it maybe, but then you get to your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and like, all right, we grown now. You're supposed to be able to dissect this and be like, okay, I learned from my own experience. I'm going to sprinkle some Terry on it. And now I know better for the next time. So I don't understand why women will be like, oh, well, you know, he's just hating on women, or he's just like, this is how it is. Whether you want to admit to it or not, this is how it is, you know, and these are the things that men are thinking.
Right. And that's why it doesn't bother me, because it's like, you ain't gotta like it, you ain't gotta listen. Like it don't hurt men. Like men are doing, even though the bums and fuckboys y'all hate are doing just fine with their dating life.
Yeah.
So men are just all good, you know what I mean? But I think part of the problem is, like, a lot of times when I do interviews and I talk to other people, anytime I talk about like something women do that's causing them to struggle or not be successful with dating, they try to make it like, well, men and women are struggling at dating. And it's like, yeah, it's some it's the dudes that are struggling or just the lames y'all don't like. Like the dudes, even the handsome dude with no car, with no job, still is struggling to keep up with the amount of women that want to date him. So he's not really struggling.
I think men struggle in the sense of finding a wife, like somebody they will settle down with. I don't think men struggle in the sense of they can't meet women and can't have sex and have platonic relationships. I think finding that woman that you're like, okay, this is a woman that I could be with forever and settle down. I think that's a little bit harder for men because the quality of women in certain places is not, I think sometimes I think women how can I say this nice? Like we be overqualifying ourselves at times. Like not every woman is wifey material. Like that you can't walk into it thinking like, oh damn, I'm wifey material. He's gonna marry me. Like, no, I think men have more control in that situation than women think.
Yeah, men are the ones that are proposing to women, but the way that works where when you use the word struggling for men, I don't really think it applies because to me, the word struggle means something that you working, you grinding to overcome. That's not how men approach marriage. Most dudes are just perfectly cool being single. They just single until they experience something that they like enough, like, oh, man, like I did with my wife. Like, damn, dating her is cooler than I thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? Like, giving up my hoes or spending less time with my other hoes is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can make him feel like he enjoys spending time with you more than he do with his other random hoes, then you're gonna get more of his time. So it's a simple equation. You know what I mean? Like, so what does it take to make a man enjoy time with you? Less conflict, sis. You know what I'm saying? Like, eliminate the shit that get on his nerves. Eliminate the shit that make him go get a side chick or whatever the case may be. It ain't rocket science. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way, the fellas, the best way to get a lot of pussy, eliminate the stuff that get dudes curved. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a super simple approach. But men don't have a problem being told what they doing wrong or what they need to fix. Women do.
Well, we're in a society where women think they're not doing anything wrong. Like I mean, let's be honest, right? What do you mean? I'm not doing anything wrong or not understanding. I think there's a lot. I think we have these falsified ideas of as women that like what relationships are supposed to look like. And, in some cases it's a dictatorship. So it's like, I'm not doing anything wrong, but this is what you're doing wrong. And we're not communicating the way we need to communicate. I think there's that. And I think, if I'm on social media a lot, so if you look at social media, there's a constant like thread of energy where like being a crazy woman, being an abusive woman, because I call it abusive. And I say that now that I have a son, because if you hit my son, I have a problem with it. If you cursing at him, if you talking down to him, I have a problem with that. And I think that there's a lot of women that don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like if you're cursing your man out, if you're, in his face with your finger, if you snuffing him, bro, you have a problem. And at some point, you a grown ass woman. This is not how you
get a reaction. You're gonna get a reaction sooner or later. There's a lot of rhetoric about guys and just like I said, there are a lot of people that just pander to women and always try to paint women as the victim. Like a perfect example is the Sweetie and Quavo elevator situation, right? Like if you just watch the video, the dude's trying to stop her from running off with his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, she swung at him, right?
I saw her throw a punch. But still, there are people that are trying to paint the narrative that he abused her, he attacked her, he should have helped her up, he should have this. Like, man, there's an unrealistic perspective whenever it comes to a male versus in a female situation where the man is always presumed to be the bad guy or painted to be the bad guy by a large segment of the population. And that's what gives rise to a guy like me who comes and just tells it how it is. I speak from the male perspective.
That tells it how it is too, because I don't think at any point that shit is cute. And I've said it a million times on my show. Like, if you're a grown ass woman and you cursing your man out in the middle of a restaurant, you're not a grown ass woman. That is not supposed to be how you behave. You wait till we get to the car and we can have a conversation about this. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain way at a certain point that you got to carry yourself as a woman. And then if that relationship is just not healthy for you, then don't be in it. But you can't be like constantly talking down to someone, constantly beating on someone. Like, I think that idea of toxic. Like women doing toxic. That, yeah, it's toxic, and it's like, it's okay. Like, if we make jokes about it, but it's not funny. It's like, yo, if you ever do this, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna strangle you. I'm gonna set this on fire. I'm gonna, like, bro, like, get help.
A lot of people, man, a lot of people have a warped perception of reality and sex and what another person does and all that. Like, they really don't have a realistic perception on how things really are. And so, social media contributes to it. There's a lot of bad information going out. Anybody that gets popular can just say what they think, and people will treat it as advice. People will tune into their lives. People will, so it's hard for a lot of people to decipher from who's actually credible enough to be giving advice and who's not. And so, like you said, I think that's one of the things that separates me. Because from a male perspective, you can't really be a hoe by luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look up and be Diddy's son or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents could be rich, and so you could be lame as fuck and still get a lot of hoes and all that. Or you could be an athlete. You could be somebody that's just popping. You could sell dope or whatever. But for the average dude that ain't none of those things, to just get women that want to fuck him off of his personality, his swag, his ambition, his charisma, you know what I'm saying, without having to lie and deceive women, like, that's a skill. That's something that resonates with men and women. Like, women are drawn to it because that's the type of men they like. They like the dude that got the swag to know he could fuck somebody in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't arrogant if you do it a certain number of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you successful enough. But other guys, it resonates because they want that too. Men want to become more efficient at shooting their shot. They want to learn how to get cute chicks to fuck them. They want to learn what, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of them may not ever do the shit that it takes, but they like hearing the story. They like hearing about the conversation. Like, they like kind of living vicariously through the dude that get a lot of pussy.
It is doing it right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and even married dudes, like, I'm married, but I love when my partners tell me, give me the details and give me the breakdown, because it resonates with me, because, what I do, the stuff I talk about and the experiences, it's the same process over and over again. The things that really change with time is the methods of engagement, technology, text, videos, etc.
Yeah. Do you think that helps or that makes it worse?
It makes it easier for people to link up and dudes to get pussy. You know what I'm saying? I think of technology and the time we're in, I think it makes it harder for women, because women are primarily looking for relationships. Yeah. I mean, it makes it easier for the people that's looking to just meet people and hook up.
Yeah, that's
dudes. True. It's harder for the people that are looking for somebody that want to build a life with you. You know what I mean? Like, so, and most women, from what I see, their methods of evaluating men, or the things that they use to evaluate men, are all stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all dumb shit that don't really matter.
What should we be using to evaluate men? I'm single, so I don't know. You could school me, because I have.
Okay, so if I'm a woman and I'm dating a dude, I want to know that, is this dude financially secure? Is he able to take care of himself and his children if he has them?
Right.
Is he ambitious? What the fuck is he doing with his life?
I'm attracted to ambition.
You're attracted to what?
Ambition.
Yeah, that's a great thing to be attracted to. But you got to be careful with it, because you got some dudes that could sell you a dream, the I'm about to type of dude. You got to make sure so if you're talking to a dude for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, you should be able to see him making progress or making moves that lead to progress. If he told you he wanted to open a bar and you met him in April, and by July, he done got a liquor license, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, he pick you up one day and he's showing you a spot he looking at, okay, this dude's making progress.
Right.
That's very different than a dude that just roll blunts and talk about what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're actually kicking it with somebody and you part of their day-to-day life, you should be able to see tangible progress in what they claim they trying to do. You know what I mean? So those are things that I think would be very important. As far as dating goes, I think women should learn to evaluate men and figure out if they compatible or not before they escalate to committed. Now that becomes tricky because sex becomes involved. You know what I mean? Like
that was one of my questions too.
Yeah.
Dating, are we like, okay?
Well,
if I have sex too soon, too late, like at what point in there?
Ain't no sex. Okay, let me clarify that the too soon. There's no such thing as too soon.
But do you think if it's too soon, it changes the trajectory of the relationship that the two people have together?
No, there's no such thing as too soon from a male perspective. And let me explain what I mean. Anytime a dude has either got your number or shot his shot, or y'all are in a position where y'all can have sex, he's made it very clear that he's down to give you the penis.
Right.
The only decision that is you still want to make your decision. Yes or no, and when. Right? So from a male perspective, he's just trying to figure out if you interested, if the feeling's mutual, and then trying to put himself in a position to make it happen. Right. Women are the ones that are going through all this overthinking about when and what it matters and what it means and all the type of stuff that men don't really care about.
Right.
What men do care about is the connection that was established between him and the woman. If there was a connection established before the sex, it has no impact on where the relationship will end up. And what do I mean? What do I mean by connection? A connection can be a long phone conversation, a 2 a.m. text conversation where y'all asking shit and you found out he got cut from the basketball team, and you know where you have one of the conversations where you come away where you feel like you've known them forever type shit.
Right.
That's connection. So if you do that, if y'all end up having one of those type of vibe moments, the first date y'all met and he ate your pussy or y'all fucked or whatever, it's gonna be a memory in his data bank. It's all positive. The same way it's gonna be all positive in your data bank.
Right.
He's not gonna come away. He's not gonna be thinking about that night like, oh, fuck her. You're like, he's not gonna have no negative vibe off that. And so, but if you meet a dude at a party at 9 and at 11:15 you sucking his dick in the car, you got a different situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is gonna view you as a thought, probably. Right. He is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the way that men really view sex and when it happens. Women are the ones that overthink about that.
I get a lot of questions about women with that and like waiting a certain amount of time and when to do it and when not to do it. And does it change the trajectory of a relationship and how that works within the relationship? But then again, I also speak to a lot of people who are also like, people should have sex at some point because some people are not sexually compatible. And so you might end up in a relationship and now you're not sexually compatible with this person, but you already have feelings for them. And now, now you're...
That's a big deal. I mean, it's alternates to, sex, or there's multiple ways to please a person sexually. But you're right. Chemistry in the bedroom is important, especially for men that, like I said, the men that are successful, that have a lot of women that want to be with them, they get a lot of pussy. So their sex life is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, and if they end up with somebody or having a child by somebody that they not really compatible with? Yes. But that's ultimately just going to lead to cheating or behavior that, women don't typically want.
I don't think we talk enough about that. And I don't think women are honest enough about that either. Like, I know that there's women that are not satisfied in their relationships and that are not sexually satisfied in their relationships. And they don't make it as vocal. You know what I mean? They just kind of like... They
vocal to their side, dude. Like, I got a lot of side... That's the part that I left out. I got a lot of side dude experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that combined with being a hoe, and that's I just smashed a lot of chicks that were married or had boyfriends. So yeah, you learn the black belt level of women when you decide, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you get to be in a whole different, there's a whole different trust club when you get to be the side piece. That's a whole nother level. You up here because that woman now has to trust you, right? She has to trust you to know all of this and not like, I'm not giving it all away. I'm just saying, I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, if I was, that woman has to trust you enough to be able to share that experience with you while you know all of these things that are going on in her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anytime cheating, any cheating situation though, I think really has an elevated level of trust. Like it's kind of crazy, but whenever you're doing something you ain't got no business doing, it kind of creates a bond between you and that other person. So whenever a person is cheating and y'all honest about it, they know you cheating on your girl, or she cheating on her man, like that type of inside conversation, it creates it really can make you feel like you love the person in a lot of cases. But it does create, I think, an elevated sense of bonding and connection with somebody that I don't think would be there if that wasn't the situation.
Right, because they're sharing the same thing. So you're vibing with someone, you start dating. We're looking for these things that kind of like the qualifications, and like you said, women got to kind of like up their qualifications as far as like what they're looking for. But who should have the relationship talk?
I think if you actually have to sit down one day and have a relationship talk, that's an indication that you haven't been having the type of conversations you should be having. I've created a dating and compatibility guide. It's available on my website, terryderon.com. It's available for $1.50.
Oh, I should have bought it. Why you didn't tell me? I'd have bought it so we could talk about it. I'll show.
It's cheaper than a bag of chips. But I created it because I got so many questions and I got tired of telling women you failed the dating phase. So I figured, let me create a quick guide and let me make it so cheap that they can't afford to not get it, right? So it's a guide that you can actually download that talks to you about dating in general, breaks down what dating actually is, what should be taking place. It outlines the type of conversations you should be having to figure out whether you're compatible or not with somebody long term. And it also includes some tools to help you figure it out. There's an evaluation guide, which is basically a worksheet where you can evaluate the person you dating, and it has a breakdown of different categories where you can rate them 1 to 10, basically like a grade card, like a boyfriend grade card or whatever, where you can fill it out and women can turn their feelings into data. Right. And so if you can look at it on paper, you're like, damn, he got a bunch of 2s and 3s, then you know that you ain't really compatible with him. But if you go down with the type of dude that I'm talking about, you're gonna be like, damn, this motherfucker got 9s and 10s, you know what I'm saying, throughout. Right. Then he's not the dude you need to be cutting off for some dumb shit. He's not the dude that you need to be playing games with. Like, so like I said, it's available for $1.50, and it's something that women can use to actually navigate the dating scene. There's also a dating calendar. So if you meet a dude, you can actually map out, we met on this date, we linked up this date, we called, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can kind of chart how things have been going so you can see whether there's consistency. Oh, that's so good. Not.
I'm gonna go get it. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go get it.
Yes, like I said, it's $1.50. So
I think that's useful because
any single woman I think would benefit from getting it.
I think there needs to be something tangible sometimes for people to see it. Because like women, we be making shit up in our head. So maybe when it's tangible and it's in your hand, it's true. It's true. You know it's true.
Well, let me say, it's an ebook only. That's the only way I can make it that.
Well, you could print it out and check it off. I think when you have something tangible, then you have to be honest with yourself, right? And that's a real reflection. So I think that that's actually a good thing to have to say, okay, did I think about this? Did I think about that? Because sometimes we get carried away in our own head and in our own feelings, and we're not really looking at the things we should be looking at when you first meet someone, and it's just all over the place. So I think that that's actually really good, a good piece of tool that women should have. So definitely go download that and pay $1.50. For $1.50, it's worth doing that. You pay $30 for a book. No, because it's true. We would pay $30 for a book from Barnes and Nobles, and you're not really getting out of it what you need to get out of it if you misinterpret it. So I think that everybody should go get that. I'm gonna go download that. Should people predate to find out if they want to date? So
what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm single, and somebody told me you have to go on a pre-date, like go out for drinks to find out.
Oh, well, that's a date.
You really want to date someone, and I was like, I'm 42 years old. I don't know what a pre-date is. I don't understand that.
All right, so let me define date for me. To me, if you go on a date with someone, that means that two people arranged a specific date and time that they were going to link up to figure out how interested in each other they are.
Right.
Preferably, you're going to do something fun or interesting. But a date could just be sitting in the car talking for 2 or 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no set definition on what it has to be, except two people with a romantic interest or that are physically attracted to each other linked up to see what's what. So if that means just doing something light, like having a meeting at a bar, or all those type of things are great. And I would recommend that, because if things go well, you can always suggest something else. And that's the key to successful dating, y'all. Suggestion. If you like somebody, you should be suggesting things y'all could do. Man, we should, you ate at the restaurant such and such? We should go there Friday. Like, you need to be suggesting things if it's somebody that you want to be linking up with. And so that's what's going to happen if things go well. If a dude links up with a woman that comes looking good and she's smelling good and they having drinks, he's definitely about to ask her where she's going or what she's doing next.
Right.
And so if the conversation went well, he's not about to send you home after just 2 martinis. Y'all about to go get drinks and go chill, or go to Top Golf, or do something. Y'all about to do something else that allows him the opportunity to extend his time with you. So hooking up. So don't make your first date an event. That's the phrase or the advice that I would give. And I think that a lot of women are guilty of that, where they put all this importance on the first date, and it gotta go this way, and it gotta have this happen. Like, you can't predict how something's gonna go. Right. You should be linking up with a dude and trying to figure out what I said earlier. What's he doing with his life? What does day-to-day look like? You know what I'm saying? What are his long-term goals? What do we even think about stuff like that? Like, you should be figuring out what their day-to-day life is like, and does it align with your day-to-day life? That should, if you focus on that on the first date, that should give you enough information to figure out if you're interested or not to go on date number 2.
That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. Do men use that cheat sheet you have too? Or is it mostly
They can. Most guys don't really need a whole bunch of help for dating. Men are forced to pay attention to women and constantly reevaluate their dating strategies. So that's why you see there's a wide variety in the levels of success between men. But men that operate a certain way and have certain criteria typically have the same level of success. And so it's men are not the ones going to dating seminars and doing all this type of stuff, because men's biggest problem is only dating one woman or being faithful to one woman. If the biggest issue is trying not to fuck other women, that means you ain't really struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what most men deal with.
So let's talk about that though. Honest reasons why men cheat. Give it to us raw.
There are a bunch of different reasons why people cheat, men and women. There's a percentage of people that are just thrilled by the excitement of cheating and do it just to do it. That represents a percentage of society. But I think for most people, especially people that are married or in serious relationships where there are children and or financial ties, I think the main motivation for them cheating is something that they're frustrated about or lacking out of their partner/relationship. That's based off me cheating, why I cheated, my experience as being a side dude, and all the countless people I've discussed cheating with. That's really the primary fundamental reason that you get when people end up, the people that that are just not randomly doing reckless behavior. It's everybody that cheat ain't a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
That would be my main reason. And a lot of women don't want to hear that. They would rather just believe men just cheat to cheat. And it's like, well, everything we do got a reason behind it. The reason why you bought that brand car you bought, the cell phone you bought, you got a reason. Like, so the only thing on earth that don't got a reason is men cheating. Like, that don't make sense. I just think especially if a man is cheated.
Women are just not honest with themselves. I think when it comes to that, I know I was in a relationship. I was married for a long time, and I remember being in my marriage and going like, I remember thinking to myself, I'm not gonna go out and look for anybody to cheat with, but if the opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna take it. I remember thinking that. I could be honest now, because like, what's he gonna do? Like, I remember feeling like that. I also remember dating someone and was like, well, if I had to date this man for the rest of my life, I'm gonna cheat on him. I remember thinking that. But it was just the sex part. Like, everything else was good about him. It was just the sex part. I remember thinking like, damn, if this is what I gotta do, like, if I had to marry this man and this is the man I had to sleep with for the rest of my life, I'm definitely cheating. You know what I mean?
But you know what's interesting about cheating? People that have like a fierce or don't want to talk about it at all, you know, like don't want to, it's this way in, you know, a super narrow perspective. They probably have never cheated and don't know all that it entails. But a lot of times people don't expect to be cheating. Like, a lot of people get caught off guard by it. You don't the situation that presented itself, you would have never thought that the person you got a crush on asked to eat your pussy when y'all was in this car alone. Like, it just be stuff like it's situations. What, I'm supposed to say no?
That would be rude.
Yeah, like so that's kind of, and that's what I learned, like, from my whole days. One of the things that I think really made me successful with women is I would create these type of lifetime memory moments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like sex on the balcony. Like, if you was playing a card game and it's like, what's the craziest thing you did? Like, it would be stuff like that. Like, for example, I remember one time a chick that I was fucking with, she came to my house for a dick appointment, and we got her to the room, we foreplaying and everything. And I told her, I was like, man, I'm not giving you no dick unless you're on the phone with one of your parents.
Parents?
She literally, she called her mom, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you called her mom.
Voicemail. I'm FaceTiming her while she's calling her mom. Left her mom a voicemail while she was getting her pussy ate. But her dad actually answered the phone. And when her dad answered the phone, I started hitting it.
That's crazy.
She's gonna always remember it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so it's just stuff like that a smart dude can do to create a spot where you always, every time she see me on Facebook or anything, she's gonna think about that.
Damn, so all the dudes listening to this right now finna do that. Everybody, mama getting the call this Sunday. That's crazy. No, but I actually think that'll be fun, right? Not the call your mom part, but just the creating.
You got to. If you play on,
everybody would enjoy that, like creating these experiences that you're not gonna forget, because then you won't be like anybody else.
That orgasm is going to be off the chain. The conversations about what happened is going to be off the chain. Like, it just creates so much momentum. Yeah. Like, and from a male perspective, my goal is to make sure next time your pussy get wet, I'm who you think about. That's the key to being a hoe, you know, from a male perspective. And it don't take a lot of money, because I was broke at the time. So it's stuff like that. But I didn't realize at the time that I was doing stuff that other dudes wasn't doing. I thought everybody was doing shit like that. You know, I thought everybody was talking. Yeah. Like, so now it's like, damn, I'm really an expert, or I can break down things that I've thought about or actually done that most people will be like, damn, I ain't even thought about that.
Yeah, you have to make a cheat sheet for the dudes, because there's a lot of guys out there that are like, they need someone to kind of like guide them too. They like, I don't know what to do. You know, here you go.
Man,
Terry,
I'm trying. My wife is restricting me on that. Like I actually I remember like a couple years back, I recorded a pussy eating tutorial using some fruits and shit, and so I was like,
Yeah, Terry,
babe,
you
I
need to
create
do it.
this.
Let me tell you, there's people.
Wifey was like, Nathaniel. She shut it down all the way down. So I'm trying.
Terry, listen to me. Listen to me. There are people on the internet right now making about $5,000 for that class. You got to put it out there. Got to put it out in the universe. Wife will be okay when she gets that new seat class. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Get her a matching car seat for the baby. She good. She good. Trust me. Yeah, so that's interesting. What about what happens when marriage gets boring? Because we talked about the dating process, we talked about the relationship process. What happens when marriage gets boring?
Usually when a marriage gets boring, it either heads down the avenue towards cheating or breakup. To me, that's usually an indication of two people that really aren't compatible. If you have somebody where y'all have actual mutual interest and y'all actually enjoy each other and y'all actually compatible, I don't really think the relationship's gonna reach that point. Y'all will evolve and grow into different people, but y'all still gonna be, in the same area if y'all your core fundamentals are aligned with one another. So if a relationship reached that point where y'all just in it for the kids, y'all sleeping in separate bedrooms and all that type of stuff, that's usually a sign that y'all just weren't compatible to begin with, and your dating decisions from the past are finally, coming to a head.
All right, so I'm not gonna keep you anymore, even though I think you should come back and we should talk to the guys.
We can go as long as you want. I'm down.
I want to know what advice you have for me, because that's what I want to know. Because I don't do online dating. I don't do it. I don't do it. Every time I make a profile, it's there for like 2 hours, and then I take it down. I'm like, I can't do this. So how do you meet people if you don't go online?
Well, I would say how you meet somebody don't really matter. So your phobia or bias against online dating, I would say, is unwarranted, because you can meet somebody anywhere. Right. That gives you infinite more opportunities to meet somebody that you're actually compatible with. So I think it would be hard for you to come up with a very good reason to not at least attempt online dating. I know that there are obstacles and things that probably make it difficult for women, but if you're not having success in your actual dating life, I would definitely recommend it. There are quality men that are bored, that may not be successful at dating in real life, that may actually meet your credentials and you could actually be compatible with. There are going to be dudes that are in a similar age range that are experiencing similar problems that you could meet in a dating app or online or whatever profile. Right. Helps you filter it digitally by cell phone, by mileage, by radius, by zip codes, and all these type of things. So you got to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really lose anything by scrolling through profiles to see somebody cute enough to message with, and you could actually hit it off and have a good conversation. So it's really a situation where there ain't really no much downside to it. You're gonna meet some weirdos. You probably meet a catfish or two. But if your methods of FaceTime them, actually link up with them at a public spot as soon as possible. Like, don't be talking to nobody for months and months that can't drive 30 minutes to meet you somewhere. Like, if you just have some common sense to it, you should be fine. And you'd be surprised. You might meet somebody that's a head doctor, that's that's an engineer or something. Like, you could meet somebody that really got their life together, that's just on there fucking off. You know what I mean? Like, so I would change your stance, or I would tell you doing yourself a disservice with that perspective.
No, sometimes I just think I'll do it, but I'll be a catfish, but like a good catfish.
Why?
Like
Why? But your perspective is actually a solid perspective on things. So if you actually meet a dude that's a lawyer that's just in his office on this app, or he's so busy he ain't really got time to date, or he's tired of chicks that's only dating him because he's a lawyer, like, you could actually have a conversation that would make him be like, well, shit, here's my number, text me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
why not? You ain't got nothing to lose.
This is true. That's pretty interesting. All right. I'm going to try that. I'm going to have to take like 3 shots first. Because I told you. Because I feel like sometimes, like as a woman, like sometimes like my pictures are really nice. Like I mean, you see me like regular like this, but like the pictures are really nice. And sometimes it draws a certain type of attention. And while it's flattering at times, other times I'm like, yo, I'm not with the fuckboy shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not with the like being overly sexualized. You know, so there's certain times that I feel like
that's part of it, but you got to look at it like this: would you rather dudes see you platonic only, or do you want them to find you sexy? Can
we like mix the two together?
Nah, like the opposite. Like you're either fuckable or you're not. You know what I mean? Like so, if a dude is on a dating app, he's looking for fuckable only women.
This is true.
Oh, what everything else is based off is she fuckable or not? I'm swiping. So fundamentally, that's how men are deciding on dating apps. Is that profile pic fuckable or not? Yes. So he's already made the decision. Oh yeah, I'd fuck her. What it do? Sexy?
So funny. But now that you said it like that, it's like, yes, no, yes, too fat, too skinny, yes, no.
Yeah. It's a quick, you might not get 6 seconds out on the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's literally, because if the dude is successful in real life, the dating app is just extra. If the dude is handsome and got a big dick and make $90K and drive a Benz and then he's just at work bored on the dating app. Does that mean he can't meet a chick that's actually popping? Like where he's like, oh, she got her own business. She do this. Shit, I told her we linking up Friday. His level of urgency is going to shoot through the roof when he meets somebody that's actually worth his time. But he's perfectly fine without it. Right. So he knows women like his profile. He's in front of his Benz. He's in his section. He's stunting. He got on his diamond. He's showing his watch. He's showing, hey, he getting the bread. Men know what it takes to get pussy or get women interested. So yeah, the dating app for the dude that y'all actually like is just like, it's like a dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the dudes that know what women like, okay, I'm gonna have a shirtless pic. I'm gonna have a pic to show I got some muscles. I'm tatted up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the gym shot is always there.
Yeah, because it's fundamentally, y'all are doing the same thing. If you look at the dude's profile and he's a dude you would never fuck, you're not about to reply back.
No.
So it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying, from a male or female perspective. It's just women wanted to go through a process and women wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to go somewhere, so they try to manipulate it and duck and dodge, where guys are kind of a lot more straightforward. They're a lot more simplistic on how they approach it.
Which I appreciate, by the way. I feel like sometimes that just gets rid of the bullshit.
Yeah, it does.
It just, like, I think sometimes we have to just be more honest. Like, there's women that know, because women are the same way. There's women that date guys and they know damn well, like, I'm not going to have a relationship with him. He's just fun right now and he takes me out and he's got money and I'm going to fuck him, but I'm not going to marry him. I don't have any intention of having children with him.
He's cool with it. He's cool with it.
It's just cool with it. I just don't think as women we just understand it. Like it's almost like, I know some women who will say that. I know there's a lot of women that won't. But at the end of the day, you knew like this wasn't going to be a long-term relationship. You knew. He may not.
You have to understand most situations ain't. 99.9% of dating situations are not about to lead to marriage. So if you understand that. If you understand that going in, and then your focus should be, let me be effective in how I'm evaluating the people I date, and just enjoy it as best as possible. Mm-hmm. So from a guy perspective, that means the ones that love sucking dick, I'm gonna let her suck my dick as many times as possible. The ones that like doing, I'm gonna maximize all the stuff I like, and that's really the approach. At least that's how I approach being single. You know what I mean? Like, so, and you can figure these things out through conversation if you're smart about it. If you're actually dating with, I'm trying to figure out if we compatible or not. she don't like sucking dick. Our conversations, we not compatible, sis.
We're not
what I'm saying? Like, but dudes, especially dudes that are former hoes or hoes, they're more efficient at it. That's how they're hoes. That's how they can have a sex rate that's 4 or 5 times another dude's. Is because he's smarter than you about it. His conversations are more efficient. His methods of choosing women are more efficient. Like, his skill set on identifying women that want to fuck him is more efficient. He's just better than you in a lot of different areas, bro. You just don't notice it because y'all ain't friends or y'all ain't partners. Or
you're not paying attention.
Right.
Oh, man, that's sad. There's some poor guy out there right now, like, he's stuck, and I can't help him. I'm sorry. I can't help you. I got nothing for you.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's true. There's like some poor guy out there that is like, he don't got no swag.
Nobody feels sorry for him. Nobody feels sorry for that dude.
But you want to know something? I feel like also like maybe like some guys, that guy got a date in his range. Maybe he out of his range.
Some dudes don't know how. Some dudes just don't. Some people are just not desirable. So men and women. So
I blame your parents.
It is what it is. Hey, you can't help it. Well, you can control it to a degree. But some people just don't know why people don't like them, or why people don't want to date them. They don't realize it till it's too late.
I mean, they might be another ugly person for them somewhere. I don't know. We should be hopeful and be like, like maybe these two ugly people will be together. Usually ugly people make cute kids. I don't know. You never know. You'll be surprised. I really do think there's somebody for everybody. I really do. I just don't. I think that we attract. No, you don't.
We all know. We all know people that die alone. If what you just said was true. If there was this person for everybody type theory, then they would have met a person before they died.
That is true. But I also see like pregnant girls, and I don't know how. And I know we all had the experience that you just look over and you're like, I don't understand. I don't understand who tapped. I don't understand. And you've seen that before. You stopped at the light.
That's a result of people don't make their best decision making when they horny, when they drunk, when they high, etc. So is it possible that a person end up in a situation with somebody that's very unattractive? Yeah. But a lot of people that are unattractive make up for their unattractiveness by being better at other things.
Yeah, this is true.
Being willing to do other things.
This is true.
Yeah. There's this thing in the world called balance.
Yes. Okay, I'll agree with that. I also feel like there are some guys who I know a lot of nice guys, and I feel like there's some guys, and then I meet their partner or I meet their significant other, and I meet their girlfriend, and I'm like, why is you with that chick? You know what I mean? There's some guys, and I've said this on my show. There's some guys that deserve better. Like,
I feel dudes make bad decisions. People, emotion is a factor when you choose somebody to be. Love is a emotion. So men make lots of stupid decisions in the name of love. They make lots of decisions.
Like a woman dates down and everybody's like, oh my gosh, she dated down. Why is she dating that guy? But when a guy dates down, like nobody tells him. And I know guys
because it's not a big deal. As long as the dude can provide and make sure y'all good, it don't really matter. Yeah. A woman's income and all that, it matter to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not the most important thing. Like, and especially if you with a dude that is making decent money that can put you on to show you how to get the bag. And like, that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you actually get with somebody you're compatible with that has the ambition and you get in the bag, you can juice them up to start getting the bag too.
Yeah, they're your partner. I totally agree with that.
But a lot of people don't view it that way. A lot of women would not. A woman that's Instagram famous with 1 million followers is making $500K probably wouldn't date a dude making $75K because she would feel like she need to be dating an athlete or a rapper or something. But if sis really did link up with the dude that got the business degree that's only making $75K, 2 or 3 years from now, they could be on some 7-8 mil a year type shit. But it just depends on your perspective on linking up with a partner.
Yeah. And I think really the right versus the right now, and then what people really are looking for. Because some people are just in it for the fame and the material things too. Let's be realistic, you know? And then there's other people that are like, nah, this is a good person. Like legit, I want them in my life. And it's a whole different expectation depending on what your motive is behind it. That's what I think.
I agree, you know.
Instead of trying to turn somebody into what you want, you know, and just kind of like understanding. I think, and then as you get older, you kind of mature. What you want changes. And so, you know, when that starts to shift, then the quality of the person, hopefully, that you're looking for and the relationship you're looking for is going to shift as well. I hope.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, man. A lot of people that what they want don't really align with what's practical or what really matters. So I think that they make dating decisions that are short term, you know, based off emotions and feelings and things of that nature, that aren't actually good for them long term.
Yeah. I also think though, as women, well, I don't know about anybody else, but no one like teaches you how to date.
Me neither. Like,
when I was in my 20s, I don't remember like an older auntie or cousin sitting down with me and saying, okay, well, if you're going to be dating, like these are the things that you should, like nobody, you don't learn, you just kind of learn through trial and error. At least we're in a day and age where we have all this information that we could share readily available. And people could be like, oh, okay, let me check this checklist. Let me see if there's ambition, but nobody teaches you that, you know? So.
Well, the problem is there's a lot of people that there's misinformation. So you can have somebody that's really popular that just tells women what they already think or feel. Like, that's the problem. You know, we got all these pastors that give relationship advice and God said this and God wants you to do this. Like, they just tell women what they already think already. Like, so there's only a few guys that are actually authentic, that are actually telling women what they need to know compared to what they want to know or want to hear. And unfortunately, that comes with a lot of backlash and negativity. Like, I can't even count the number of women that will hear the same things I've told you in this conversation and will come across and literally feel like I hate women.
But how?
Like, so,
I can't wrap my head around that. Like, how if I'm telling you what men are doing, do I hate women? I'm giving you an ace in your pocket, first of all, because now I'm telling you what to do, right? So that's like almost you playing cards and somebody sitting in your ear telling you, like, this is his next move. Here's what you need to be ready for. Like, I feel like that actually is empowering women if you want to know the truth. If you take the information and use it the right way, it's actually empowering women to know, like, this is how men are looking at your picture. So he already knows if he finds you attractive, yes or no. So you don't have to worry about that dress don't look good or I don't feel good today or whatever the case may be. So I think that information is helpful, not hurtful.
I can't explain it.
I don't get it.
I can just tell you that that's the reaction, you know. And it's crazy, you know, for me anyway, you know, because a lot of women, like, when they dislike your content, they try to discredit you. So they'll say that they make up assumptions about my wife and this and that and that. And it's like, man, y'all would love to be living my wife's life. Like,
too much time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard trying to get the average woman to improve because they're so resistant to the information that will actually help them improve their dating experiences.
The crazy thing is, though, that a lot of the women, so in doing my podcast over the last year and a half, I found out that there are a lot of women that are insecure about a lot of things in their relationship and in their life when it comes to sex, sexuality, and their partner. That's what I have learned over the last year and a half. I would be surprised at the amount of information I have learned about women just like, don't know how to suck dick, don't know how to ride dick. Is there men? No, I'm telling you, like, I be taking the classes so I could see it. And I don't, like, I didn't learn nothing, just by the way, you know what I'm saying? I knew that already, but just watching the amount of women. And so in these spaces and knowing that, like, their relationships are in a certain way, they're not communicating effectively, or they're not comfortable, they have confidence issues, they have sex issues. And it's crazy to me, like, here are people trying to help you and give you the tools that you need to effectively make the changes to work on yourself first. Why does that offend you? Why does that sound hurtful? How is that hate, when you could take this information and make your relationship better, make your sex life better? And I think there's a part of women that just don't want to admit, like, you just don't want to admit that you have a weakness, or that you see things a certain way. Like, the same woman that's coming at you probably single.
I know that's the part that don't make sense, because it's like, all right, when I was single, I hit all my relationship goals. Like, my bachelor life was way better than average. And then I've been married to the type of woman that most guys I would feel like would be trying to wife up my wife. She's attractive enough. She got multiple degrees, working on her PhD, 6-figure salary, you know what I'm saying? Like, international company. She's a Delta. She can go turn up and be lit and say, like, my wife is lit. But women will act like they want to portray me as a guy that's struggling with women, that is just so angry that I've never had success with women, that I just bash women all day. And it's like, man, that's not how men view my page. They view me as being one of the most authentic men on the internet, you know. And I'm not
for a long time. I don't get any of that. I do think you challenge people's thinking, but I think people that I don't know how to say this nice, so I think that people that have a brain need to be challenged sometimes. I can say that. I have a master's in science. I can say that. Like, if you have any concept of thought or thinking process, deeper thinking, then yes, it's good to be challenged, because you have to think outside the box, right? Otherwise, you're just a sheep and you follow a herd. Elevated men are going to say, all right, let me look at this outside the box and let me think of this another way, because this is what's happening, or this is what I need to know. And so I don't take anything that you post offensively. In fact, I'd be like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's have a question. Let's open up this box and chip away at what's going on here. I really think that the women that are like, oh, he hates men, are just, he hates women, are more just like insecure about themselves. Like, you taking it really personal, and I think that shows your immaturity and insecurity. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this, then it is what it is. But I'm not insecure as a woman. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I know very much who I am. And so it doesn't bother me when I see something or somebody says something. Like, the only time you take that the wrong way is if you feel like they talking to you.
If it's applying to you, yeah, you're right. Because I never get offended when people talk about fuck boys or bums or dudes that don't take care of their kids or dudes with little dick. I don't care about none of that shit. Like, that, I ain't offended by none of it. Yeah, like, right. So
I feel like if you're sitting here arguing, you must be sensitive to the situation. and then you probably have been the fool in the situations, and you know this, and that's okay. I did an episode, it's called Weak Bitch Tendencies. This is your weak bitch moment. We've all been a weak bitch before. And that's okay. I've been a weak bitch too. I've had those experiences where I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have been with this person. This was unhealthy. We all been a weak bitch. And then you grow, and then you listen, and then you learn, and you think, and you elevate out that situation. So, sis, that's just your weak bitch tendency. That's your weak bitch moment. Put it together. You're a grown-ass woman. And understand that as a grown-ass woman, that your partner is a partner, and your significant other is your significant other. And you can't, it's not a dictatorship. It's not a hostage negotiation, like I said. Right. Like, if that's not the person for you, that's not the person for you. And that's that. But
you gotta make them want to be with you.
I think women tend to also force things too. Like, I've seen women be like, well, he's going to do this and I'm going to go do that. And you'll just keep, pushing something along that you need to just be like, this don't work. But we rarely, a woman try to a guy will be like, nah, I ain't fucking with her. And he'll just move on. A woman will be like, but, and find a reason to just keep going and keep going. I had a dream, my girlfriend, I don't want to start all over. I'll buy him new clothes. I'll buy him new shoes. I'll do this. And not realizing like, none of this is going to change who you are and who he is. you know, but we tend to not really like want to, as women, want to just admit that and be like, yo, it's over and that's that. I don't know, Terry, but thank you for hanging out with me. Where can everybody find you?
They can find me primarily on Instagram at Terry Deron. You can go download my content from my website, terryderon.com. And I'm working on releasing the Terry Deron app where they'll be able to access my polls and surveys, and they'll be able to access my live streams directly.
Excellent. And definitely you guys go get that checklist. I'm gonna go download mine first thing tomorrow morning because I want to look at it. I'm really curious to see what it says. And all of my friends were like, you have to make a list, Karen. You have to make a list of what you want. And I just find that so weird to me. I don't know. I can't, I haven't done it. And I'm a very like organized person. I'm an educator. I'm a mom. I manage all these other things. And I'm like, no, I just haven't sat down to do that because I just don't feel like, I don't know. That doesn't feel real to me.
A person doesn't have to meet a specific list to be compatible.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real to me. It just like, and then when they fall short on the list, then what? You know what I mean? It just kind of almost seems like you asking for something that doesn't seem real to me. And I just don't think it's practical. But other people have told me they've done it. And like the person came, like they manifested the person and they wrote this list and the person came. And I was just like, I believe in manifestation. I just don't understand like checking off a list about a being. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Maybe in my own personal life, I'm looking for a person, not a list. So maybe that's why I don't have one. I don't know.
Yeah, don't go with the list philosophy.
I don't know. I feel like women have that list, and I think it hurts sometimes more than it helps. That's my honest opinion about it.
A lot of the things on the list are insignificant or irrelevant. That's the problem with that philosophy. The things women use to evaluate men do not really have any indication on whether he's a quality husband, whether he's a quality man, or whether they're compatible or not.
Yeah, and a lot of the things on the list are tangible. And I'm at a place in my life where the things on my list are not tangible. Like you can't be like understanding, caring, like those things are not tangible things you could hold. And people's lists got like cars and houses and money and stuff like that. My list don't have that. My list wouldn't have those things because I don't need those things. I personally have those things. So my list is more about like compassion and patience and caring and like, you know, those types of things. They're not tangible. And so I think that's what makes me different maybe from other women. Cause I'm not sitting here like, you know, like he got to make 6 figures. I'm good. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll come back on your show when something when the DoorDash guys becomes my husband because that's the only and I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you so much, Terry, for coming by. Everybody follow Terry Deron on IG. Make sure you go to his website and check him out.
Please be clear, we are popping it off. Flex your fingers, and type up www.saidloud.com now. And stay in tune with everything. Karen L is on the World Wide Web.